Hello and welcome to Sunrise Daisy's Wellness Vlog. I'm Kate and I am the board secretary here at Sunrise Daisy. And I'm very excited to talk to you today about some things that helped me get through cancer treatment. My story with cancer starts in 2013 when I was 37 years old, and I went for a routine checkup and learned that I had cervical cancer. It came as a huge shock to my husband and I, and we were fortunate that they had caught it early. So I had a hysterectomy in 2014, early in the year, and luckily that was all that I needed for my treatment. So with some healing and recovery, fortunately, I got through that round of cancer. But it did change my outlook on life, and it changed my husband's outlook on life. It really made us value our health and realize how fragile it could be. So one thing that came out of that was I had been thinking about a career change for many years and had just struggled to land on exactly what I wanted to do and how to go about doing it. And after that experience, I decided to follow a longtime passion and dream of mine to work with nutrition, and I decided to go back to school to become a registered dietitian. So I spent about a year doing the prerequisites for the program at Oregon State University, and then I was accepted into their 2-year program, and I was thrilled. I worked hard at it. I enjoyed the learning. I had such a great cohort of people in my classes. I had just found exactly where I needed to be. Unfortunately, in the fall of 2016, when I was 40, I was starting my second year into the program, and I found a lump in my breast. And after some really difficult weeks and biopsies, I learned that I had breast cancer. And unfortunately, it turned out that this one hadn't been caught quite so early. So I went through a mastectomy, and then, since I was considered young at 40 years, I went through aggressive radiation and chemotherapy treatment as well. And it was, as I'm sure many of you know, a very challenging time, physically, mentally, emotionally, for my whole family and circle of friends. It was very difficult. So I definitely needed to find ways to help myself get through that time. And I found several, and as I was trying to think of what to talk about for this video, I had a hard time choosing just one, but I started to think, what do these all have in common? And the common theme that ran through all of them was learning. So I have found that when I go through hard times in life, what helps me, generally speaking, to get through them is to try to see them as much as possible as a learning opportunity. And that helps me maintain some level of perspective on what's happening. And that was certainly true going through cancer treatment. I learned as much as I could about breast cancer. I went through several books. I, talked to doctors. I drove to Longview to talk to an integrative oncologist. I learned as much as I could, and that helped me feel like I had some grasp of the situation. As I'm sure you know, it's kind of unpredictable in ways, and it's hard to know all the details of what caused our cancer and what might happen. But learning as much as I could about it just helped me feel my feet on the ground a little bit more, as much as possible anyway. I also, during a time of great anxiety, I needed help, and I didn't know what to do. And I started reading a book called Full Catastrophe Living that taught me about a mindfulness practice called mindfulness-based stress relief, or stress reduction, which is shortened to MBSR. So I learned about it through that book, and then I ended up taking a class at OHSU specifically for cancer patients and survivors and their partners. And I learned a form of meditation that was extremely helpful to me. I also learned to stretch my comfort zone a little bit when it came to accepting help from friends and family. I kind of grew up being self-sufficient and taking care of myself. But when friends offered help, I thought, you know what, if I'm ever going to do that, now's the time. And learning to accept their help was humbling, and it opened me to a whole world of love and kindness and generosity that I never could have expected. It taught me, or showed me, how much people wanted to be there for me. And that was such a beautiful gift to me during that extremely difficult time. And then also, learning about nutrition and dietetics helped as well. And in fact, since I finished treatment in 2017, active treatment, going back to school, deciding to do that and finish pursuing that career of to become a registered dietitian really helped me come full circle and kind of reclaim my life as much as I could after completing treatment. And it was challenging, of course, to go back with kind of the new body that I came out of cancer treatment with. But I went back to school starting in 2019, and I graduated this past April, I'm happy to say, and just passed my registration exam in July, and I am officially registered dietitian now. Eventually, my goal now is to work with oncology patients, because I recognize how complicated our understanding of nutrition is and how much of an impact it can have in our lives. As somebody who's experienced, the lowest of the lows when it comes to physical condition, I don't want to spend another day not taking care of my health and kind of aiming for vibrant health. And that's what I hope to help other people do as well. So I hope that some of the things I've shared today might help you identify some of the things that you've learned going through cancer treatment or living life after cancer treatment, because I'm confident that all of us learn things as we go through this process. And it's been such an honor to speak with you today, and I really appreciate you watching. Thanks so much.